What is up, Mets fans? Welcome back to another episode of the Mets'd podcast. First series recap. I know we dropped an episode after opening day. Thank you for the amazing support on that one. 10K on an opening day video. Absolutely love to see it. We got more to talk about. We got Saturday. We got Sunday. Before we do get going into it, make sure you are subscribed to Mets'd. Over half of you that are watching right now are not subscribed to our YouTube channel as my mic falls. Click that sub button. Join us. Come. Get all the notifications. And if not, listen to us. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google, wherever you get your podcasts. Drop us a rating, drop us a review, download, and subscribe. Great weekend, James, but end it with a little bit of a bad taste in our mouth.
Ended with a little bit of a bad taste in my mouth, but after watching those two games on Saturday and Sunday, we didn't even deserve to win either of them.
No.
So to win one, I'm what?
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right.
I don't think so. I don't even think this team played really great, but I think we just saw how a team built this way has so many avenues to win games you don't deserve to win. There's a lot of good players who could do a lot of good things kind of at the snap of a finger, where at the same time there was a lot kind of that didn't love this weekend. I mean, take the spot where you want to start. Do you want to go game Saturday, Sunday, or you want to just talk big picture stuff?
Let's save big picture for the end. Let's go through the games. There goes the light. Done.
I got 1 minute of the light, so hopefully you guys are going to stick around. The real ones stick around after the light goes out.
Mets up after dark. Let's go Sunday. Let's get the bad out of the way.
Okay, again, this was a baseball game that the Mets did not deserve to win.
No.
I really don't think there's any way they did. And the problem is that it was so winnable in the end, which is the most frustrating part about this, especially because it felt like there were legitimate, unforced errors by us that caused us to lose. And I think the two that most people are focused on right now is, one, the send on Lindor in the 10th inning.
It was crazy.
We got the first two guys on the 10th, down by one. Soto at the plate, drives a double to left center field. The Pirates don't even have a really good relay, and Lindor is still out by 2 steps. I'm like,
yeah. It's
the old baseball adage, you don't ever want to make the first out at home plate, especially in a one-run game, and you did, and then you did not get the run home after that. That was kind of painful to see.
Yeah, I didn't love the send. Like you said, 2 bad throws. I like the thought process. I like being aggressive because I do think at times last year this team was not aggressive enough. And I do like the idea of the Pirates are so bad defensively, and we heard Carlos Mendoza talk about this, that the Mets plan to be aggressive, specifically against the Pirates, of making them make a play. They didn't make the prior 2 plays to get to that last play, but they made the one that mattered the most, and Lindor was out. I also didn't love seeing him in the dugout afterwards, like kind of grimacing and stretching his shoulder out a little bit.
Ugly slide.
Yeah, ugly slide. Makes me a little bit nervous just about that kind of stuff in general. That's also not why they lost the game.
No, I mean, there was just a lot of opportunities to score they didn't cash in on. There was, again, I wouldn't even say they pitched that poorly. The other thing, I want to talk about McClain in a second. The other thing is that we're back to strange bullpen decisions.
Yeah.
Where we came out of the game, we played opening day, and it was a kind of mostly a blowout, not a full blowout. We didn't really use the extent of the A bullpen. We thought that guys would not have been available. And 2 extra inning games, your second and third games this season, that is a bit taxing. But for the 10th inning of this game, the Mets went back to Dickie Lovelady, who
Second day in a row.
And I'll say this. People are really getting on Dickie Lovelady right now. Dickie Lovelady crushed it on Saturday. He worked through a scoreless 11th inning that was almost. He gave up 1. I consider giving up 1 in the extra inning pretty.
Yeah,
pretty
no
much.
earned run for him.
Yeah, pretty clean. That was an absolute miracle. But then in this game, and then Carlos Mendoza gave us reasons for it afterwards. It was the fact that Brooks Raley was unavailable, Devin Williams unavailable. Didn't mention anything about Tobias Myers, who threw 3 innings in opening day.
Yeah.
One of that. Dickie Lovelady threw 21 pitches himself in the 11th inning on Saturday, and he was the guy going back-to-back, which to me, that echoes the thing that we heard from Ottavino in the offseason, that the Mets are kind of okay with using their relievers as a bit of a meat market, where it's like, the ones we care about, we don't want to push them in March. But Dickie Lovelady, we've cut him 19 times in the last 12 months anyway. Yeah, we don't care what happens to Dickie Lovelady. That was the vibe I honestly got from that.
Yeah, we know my opinions on Dickie Lovelady. I was tired of him when we were in Miami doing the WBC episodes, and I was like, if I see us sign Dickie Lovelady one more time, enough. And I hate that we see him pitching as much as he has already. This is a bigger problem, and I'm going to put this one on David Stearns more than Mendoza right now. This is a big problem of having the 2 long guys of Tobias Myers and Sean Manaea in the bullpen right now. Is there's just not actually enough arms for when they need to, especially when Sean Manaea is only going to go 1 1/3. If Sean Manaea is only going to go basically, I know he cleaned up for Brazoban, but if he's going to basically pitch 2 innings, and you also don't have Myers because you used him earlier in the week, This bullpen is very, very, very limited. And then on top of that, if two guys are unavailable, like what was the plan? I don't love Dickie Lovelady, but he pitched when he was called upon. I don't think he's very good, but whatever.
So I'd be flip side of that. I don't think you ever plan for a 10th inning. I think you probably build out plans for 9.
Sure.
And I think they got themselves through 9 knowing who was available and who was unavailable. And that's what I was saying before. Then, go to the meat market, Dickie Lovelady. We're sending him down. We don't care.
It just more so sucks that in today's game there was basically only 3 relievers available in this game.
Yeah, more or less. And also one of them was Sean Manaea, who I do think.
And we had an off day this week, by the way.
Yeah, and they had an off day. And the intention, and the first game of the season, Tobias Myers threw 3 innings of relief.
I know.
So you basically a 2-game sample here. Again, you played 21 innings. That's more than you're supposed to play in 2 games, so you have to change the plan a little bit. But another thing is, if Sean Manaea is going to be a long man, you probably just need him to record more outs.
He has to be a long man.
And I do think that it got to a point with Sean Manaea where it was like, I didn't want him to go back out for an additional inning.
No, he didn't look good.
No, he did not throw a pitch at 90 miles an hour again. 0 pitches that touched 90. He got a couple of 89.8s that register as 90s, but they weren't true 90s. We love true 90s here. And the way he's pitching right now with that 4-seam fastball that can't crack 90, I don't know how Sean Manaea can be consistent against right-handed batters.
It feels impossible.
So again, like you're in a spot where you said you had Luke Weaver. You said you definitely didn't have Brooks Raley. He only threw, I think, 13 pitches yesterday.
Yeah, which is interesting.
And Devin Williams threw 23, so I guess in March you give the guy an extra day off, but
it's also a day off tomorrow.
It did feel like it was like, we're just going to throw Dickie Lovelady to the Wolves, which again that even makes the send with Lindor worse.
Yes.
Like sending Lindor to me is kind of playing for the tie instead of playing for the win. What do you think?
No, I think it's still playing for the win. I think it's an aggressive play for the win because if they would have scored that Lindor run, now you've got the winning run on second base, and you're cooking with fire. You got no outs, man on second. You could play the small ball game if you want to.
But that's why I'm saying I think that was more so. God, I got a crop in my throat. Playing for the ties because you're being extra aggressive to tie the game, acknowledging that there's a greater chance you lose that out at the plate. You're still down by 1, and you only have a guy in second base.
Okay, I see. I can see that.
So the aggressiveness came for the tie. Yeah, I think playing for the win would have been holding back, having the no outs and the 2 guys on. That's a little bit more pressure. But again, neither here nor there.
Yes.
Let us know about the first nonsense messed up argument of the season in the comments. Nothing. The target on our backs part 2. Is that playing for the tie or playing for the win?
God, I can't wait for that conversation this year. But at the end of the day, like I don't want Dickie Lovelady on this team.
What's the alternative?
Someone who's better.
Who's that? Who's better? It's the
Austin
season's
Warren.
Going. Season's begun. I mean, you'll get your wish tomorrow.
Good. I can't wait to see Austin Warren on this roster.
But also, the reason Dickie Lovelady specifically is important right now is because we know Sean Manaea is kind of half a long man, where his usage seems to have to be a bit manicured. I don't know if this is also more par for the course or not, but through a lot of that game on Saturday, he was in the dugout for a good chunk of it.
Yeah.
So I wasn't exactly sure if maybe Manaea is still in a long man role where they want him to get back to quasi starting. Maybe he has a day. You know what I mean? Like Sean Manaea knows he's pitching. So, you know,
he only threw 29 pitches. How is he supposed to get back to being a starter if he's only going to even throw 29 pitches in appearance and pitch probably every 3-4 days?
This was also why early in the season, not in spring training, when Carlos Mendoza very defiantly said Tobias Myers is on the major league roster. That's why it caught me off guard because, like you said, it's become a very strange bullpen alignment. Where if Tobias Myers throws 40 pitches in a game, he does probably need 3 days off.
Yeah, so a lot of pitches.
And that's one of your low-key better relievers kind of at the same time. So it's is it more valuable for him to be able to throw 3 mop-up innings in that game on Thursday when then you actually still can't day-to-day tax your bullpen? Again, the thing with Manaea and Dickie Lovelady is that if Manaea is a manicured long man and Brooks Raley cannot throw him back-to-back days, you just do need another lefty.
Yeah, but then also your lefty's Dickie Lovelady, and this is what happens.
I guess that's the flip side of it. Sorry, guys. I just cleared my throat. Also, I did it right to the mic. My bad.
At the same time, too, you can't have 2 long men and not have one be a long man.
I think Sean Manaea theoretically is a long man, but then I think in that situation on Sunday, you were like, I actually don't want him to pitch anymore.
That's bad.
I know. Well, it's similar. It's a similar thing that just happened over the weekend with Carlos Estevez on the Royals, where it's we just watched spring training. We know the stuff is not there. Do you want to get the save?
Yeah.
And you can't do it. So I actually do kind of credit. I think Carlos Mendoza probably at that moment was like, okay, if I pull Sean Manaea here, Dickie might have to get through an inning.
That's why I said I blame more David Stearns for this.
Yeah.
This mess right now, not Carlos Mendoza.
This is also kind of the game within the game that we got a little bit frustrated with David Stearns last year, where it felt like, again, now all of a sudden, first weekend of the season, we're trying to thread the needle. And this is kind of like, these are first world problems. We should have swept the Pirates. We won 2 out of 3.
Correct.
But the sweep was so within reach that that's kind of how this frustration has mounted a bit.
Shout out my boy Carmen Majinski, though. Pitched a hell of a game.
Yeah, that's how you pronounce the name, Majinski?
Majinski.
Wow, I never really got that.
And they were talking about that in the booth today. They were like, I think the craziest thing about this guy is that's how you say his name? They're like, no way.
Yeah, but again, it was a lot of needle threading, and it felt like needles didn't really have to be threaded.
You know what I liked about game 1? Beat the piss out of him.
Yeah, crushed them.
I don't like needle threading. I want to beat the piss out of the teams we play.
This one's for the dudes looking for that peak bedroom performance. Blue Chew just dropped their newest innovation, Blue Chew Gold.
Blue Chew is the #1 chewable ED brand. And yes, Blue Chew Gold dissolves under your tongue and works in as little as 15 minutes. Peak passion and peak performance in a single tablet. See why millions of men trust Blue Chew now with a gold standard upgrade that is changing the game for good. Make life easier and discover your options at BlueChew.com. And we have a special deal for the FT fam. Get 10% off your first month of Blue Chew Gold with code FOUL. That's promo code FOUL. Visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information. And we thank Blue Chew for sponsoring the podcast. This is the future of performance. Faster, smarter, and precision engineered for results. 2 ingredients for blood flow with apomorphine and oxytocin to turn up the arousal and connection in your brain and body. It's Blue Chew.
Well, game 1 was 70 degrees. Saturday was 40. Shout out to everyone Saturday stuck in that ballpark for the walk-off. And then Sunday again was not. It was still a nice day. It was very sunny and it was warmer, but it was still not.
It was exactly 50, felt like 42, I believe, is what the weather app said.
I'm sure the wind was blowing out there in Flushing. And quickly, I want to get some more bigger picture stuff from Saturday.
Yes.
That was a fun game. I thought Nolan McLean had a great start. Like this was one of those starts that you see from like guys who are in the upper tier of the league where they start poorly and you worry that things could get off the rails and they don't really have their best stuff and they make an in-game adjustment and you're like, oh, this is, again, still one of the best pitchers. So
bared down.
He was so fastball heavy that first time around the order, and the lefties were all over it. Even through the beginning of that second time around the order, when Brandon Lau just ravaged us again. I don't know what that guy did this offseason, but he's ready to go. But then once he got through that Brandon Lau at bat, the fastballs were gone, especially from the lefties. And the curveball and the changeup came back out. Those pitches were both diabolical. So that Lau home run, that was just like the WBC home runs from Nolan McLean, where it was a fastball to a lefty, middle, belt high. Tough
Doesn't matter how hard you throw. If it's straight, they're going to hit it.
If it's 100, you probably get through it. But again, that fastball was 95.8 miles per hour. That was the third slowest fastball that Nolan McLean threw. After that, he threw 2 fastballs.
Was the breakdown of him, like you said, he threw a lot of fastballs that first time through the order, especially to lefties. Do you think that's McLean maybe doing like kind of an old schoolish baseball thing that we've talked about where it's like try and get through the lineup without showing them everything?
He threw 15 four-seam fastballs in the first 3 innings. And then after that Lau home run, he threw 2.
That's like what you see the great pitchers do, where it's like, let me see what I can get through, and then I bring out a new wrinkle, and then I bring out a new wrinkle, and then you're like, oh, 90 pitches, complete game.
I think that's exactly what he intended to do, but I think right now, maybe it's a command thing early in the season, but the way that he's just not getting that fastball by lefties enough, where you might have to do an extra trick. But then again, once he started throwing that curveball, like,
it was great.
The pitching ninja gifts were everywhere. Like that back foot one he did to O'Neal Cruz, he did another one of that.
He loves Nolan McLean pitching ninja. He was like, I'm just telling you guys, like this is one of the best pitchers in baseball.
We shouted out this offseason, like that podcast that they did together was like one of the cutest things I've ever seen.
Oh yeah,
like pitching ninja was so excited talking to Nolan McLean. Nolan McLean is much more of a reserved guy, but it was cool to see him like break out of the shell a little bit and talk.
Also, shout out Waskar Brazaban. Fucking love him.
Yeah, he's great. I mean,
just love him.
Again, like finding a lot of decent things to talk about in this game. But I think another thing that this kind of underscored, I think a first good game for Lindor. Juan Sosa hit the crap out of the ball. Look, I thought Jorge Polanco also did it in the 10th.
I know.
I was listening to the end of the game on the radio coming home from shout out my cousin Rob. It was in Old Bridge today.
Shout out Rob.
For a 30th birthday party, Old Bridge, Jersey. But Keith Rad got me out of my seat for that call. I was
I thought he caught it too.
Yeah, but that was kind of frustrating. Beatty also that nice hit and run with Brett Beatty and Luis Robert. Like that was
God, I love that 5-6.
Beautiful right there. That was awesome. Semi took some tough at bats even though he had the sac fly. Benj also, besides the home run, looks a bit overmatched right now.
They're just blowing fastballs by him.
Yeah, that's so it's interesting. But let's move on big picture in Saturday.
Yeah, Saturday. Let's talk about that. Not a great game by the Mets, but a great game by the Mets, if that makes any sort of sense. Because, again, similarly, they had no business winning this game. They did not play particularly well. We can talk about some of the guys that didn't play well. But for the guys to step up in the end, Mark Vientos, big hit, gets his at-bat against a lefty, cold off the bench, gets a hit. I had no faith in him. Prove me wrong. Shout out Mark Vientos. Love to see that. Keep proving us wrong all year long, Mark Vientos. I want to see you succeed. And Luis Torrens, after they took out Alvarez to pinch run for Tyrone Taylor, Luis Torrens gets a chance at bat because, again, the Mets can't end a game. Big hit from Luis Torrens. Like, that's really cool to see those guys step up. And then, of course, we got to talk about my boy. You might be noticing on YouTube I'm wearing a White Sox jersey. It's because it's my Luis Robert jersey.
Robert.
Robert.
It's
It's going to take a second for me to get that one. Luis Robert. Man. I love him. It's happening.
I was jumping up and down in my apartment when he hit that home run. Also, just on the weakest swing. Like that's the kind of thing that we talked about with getting him, where it's like putting a lightning rod like that, who doesn't have a lot of pressure on them, who has a natural ability that he has, and the type of power, speed. Great series defensively for Luis Robert as well.
Oh, yeah.
Just to bail you out. To have like a secret superstar in the back middle of your lineup to bail you out in a game where a lot of other things went wrong. Like that's a beautiful thing to have, and that was a really fun moment to see that. And crushed it off a lefty. He
is so awesome. I love, you know me, when I go home to my parents' house in New Jersey, I will turn on SNY after the games late night, like 1 a.m. as I'm getting ready to fall asleep, and I will watch those guys talk about baseball because it's a fun exercise to kind of hear outside of the echo chamber that's like me, you, and like kind of the people that we listen to for baseball takes. It's nice to get a fresh take, whether it's good or not. Most of the time it's pretty horrible. To hear like the guys on SNY, again, I won't call out any names, but talking about like, oh, I don't care about Luis Robert. He chases. He walked a couple times. That's nice, but he's going to chase a lot. That's what you're going to get. I just hope he stays healthy. It's like, no, this is a ball player. And also, shout out Gary Cohen, kind of inadvertently corrected people about Luis Robert's changes that he's made. He's like, while he's been bad, he's actually gotten way more patient at the plate and making great swing decisions, chasing less. He goes, these are all the reasons why he made it was such a good fit with the New York Mets. Get him in a winning environment, and I couldn't agree more. That's what me and you were preaching about for the last year and a half.
100%. He's already drawn a bunch of walks so far this season. The bat to ball looks good, and that was
good at bats.
Great at bat. The one against Keynes changed that entire game on Thursday, but it's a moment with that home run where he didn't even have to put his A swing on a ball on like the coldest. Hopefully, the coldest game this team has to play this year. And again, like I said, you bail out the guys because the inning before, it was one of the worst displays of situational hitting I've ever seen. It was from the best 20 hitters in all of baseball with Lindor, Soto, and Bichette with the bases loaded, nobody out, not bringing in a run. Like that was
tough,
painful. That felt like a
Hunter
situation.
Barco made a hell of a play off the mound.
It was a sensational play in that Soto dribbler. Soto also got put a pretzel by Mason Montgomery.
He did, yeah.
That was rough to see. But it was also the same thing in the 7th inning where it was Beatty, Semien, and Benj against Gregory Soto. And we always want to call out the weird process things that we see with this team. We're talking about with the bullpen just now with Stearns. To leave Carson Benj in when you still had Tyrone Taylor on the bench in the 7th, but then to pinch hit for him when you already burned Tyrone Taylor in the 10th, I thought was an interesting process. It worked out. Mark Vientos got the hit, but Benj got overpowered by your boy Gregory Soto.
I know Gregory Soto sucks, but boy did he have a great weekend against the Mets.
Really good weekend.
The fastball seemed to be the problem right now for Benj. The velo seems to be the issue. He's just a little bit behind on those guys, which is a little concerning as we move forward. But I'm going to look at that
got
from
time.
about 1,000 feet away right now. I'm seeing
all good. Carson Benj is having fun. He's playing good defense. He got past a bird dropping dead next to him. Diana, the queen, she found a funny video in the SNY broadcast. She does so good at capturing the B-roll and putting it on Twitter.
Good.
The target audience is literally only Mets fans, but every single Mets fan who follows her, and you guys all should, definitely appreciates her infinitely. There was like a bird who flew overhead yesterday and Saturday, and Carson Benj looked at it and did a half a flinch, because he's watching a dead bird drop next to him. But that, I think, all kind of on Saturday got taken away. Luckily, again, Luis Robert.
Yes.
I can't say it. Robert. They said to pronounce it like Robert.
Robert. Okay. Luis Robert.
We're just cutting off the T.
Robert.
Robert.
Okay. Luis Robert. God, I'm so excited for him.
I'm so happy that became the story, because the story for most of this game, besides the situation hitting like we just touched on, was the Bo Bichette adventure at third.
And I texted you about it because we know, unfortunately, I've been one of the most vocal people about my opinions on Bo Bichette playing third base. And again, it's not from a hater standpoint. I want Bo Bichette to be able to play third base. I'm begging him to be able to play third base. He can't do it. This is a position he's not going to be able to play.
I wouldn't say at this point he's not going to be able to play it, but
I mean, I could play it, but I'm not going to play it well. I think that's what he's doing. I think he's playing third base. I don't think he's equipped to play the position. It feels like things are moving way too fast for him at third base right now.
also I feel like there are times he tries to slow it down, but then also it's harder. Then he starts thinking. I think he's very clearly thinking about it a lot.
Yes.
Like, so there was the 3 plays on Saturday where the first was a ball that he grabbed and he kind of like sidearm sailed the throw, and then Jorge Polanco got off the base, able to draw the tag on whoever was a slow runner there.
No, he was safe. He didn't get him.
I thought he got him on that play.
Is there 2 of those? Did I miss
Yeah, no,
one of
that
them?
was the first one.
Okay.
And then the next one after that was the strange charging a ball that kind of had a little side spin on it. He was kind of cutting off Lindor in the hole, which was good instincts by him, but then he took a little shuffle step, and for some reason he went from his forehand to his backhand and did a backhand stab where I was like, why'd you do that? And then the one that everyone got clipped, and I put it on my Twitter, was the 4th inning where I feel like it was someone fast running. I think it was Brian Reynolds running.
Yes.
No, it was Triolo, number 10. Who's number 10 in the Pirates? It's just Triolo.
I think that's Triolo.
That's Triolo. He's not the fastest guy in the league, but he's not slow, and Triolo's the guy that busts it out of the box.
Triolo's 19. Brian Reynolds is 10.
Okay, Brian Reynolds is 10. Brian Reynolds can move a little bit, and he also busted out of the box. Bo Bichette came in on the ball, but not hard. He took the right hop on it, and then he did a double clutch crow hop and tried to cork a throw, and it was way up the line, nowhere close, and Triolo was safe. And that was one where it was
even with a good throw, I don't know if he had him because he took way too long to try and throw the ball.
I mean, he did a double tap in the glove and he crow hopped a little bit. And that was the 3rd time after that in 4 innings. He did make a good play at a foul ball that got caught up in tons of wind the inning before too, so it wasn't all bad. But when you're in a situation like Bo Bichette, the ball seems to find you. And then the other reason the ball seemed to find him is because David Peterson was on the mound. He throws tons of sinkers.
Yeah.
So I asked a very, very simple, I thought, innocuous question on Twitter. It was like, I wonder how rigid the Mets are going to be with Bichette at third when you have Brett Beatty standing there. And that was one of the biggest questions that we asked in the episode last week, questions for the Mets heading into the season.
I think not enough people are talking about that enough, where it's like, why isn't Brett Beatty playing? Like, even if you want to get Bo Bichette at third base, right? Like, put him in the games where the guys are throwing fly balls. Like, Freddie Peralta gives up fly balls, right? Am I correct in that?
Yeah.
Put him at third base for Freddie Peralta games.
And that was my point there. And we see a lot of other teams across the league do this. We saw on Friday night the Tigers completely changed their infield defensive alignment when they had Framber Valdez on the mound. They took out Gleyber Torres, who's not the best second baseman at this point in his career. They put Zach McKinstry in the lineup. They had Javier Baez and Kevin McGonigal in the middle infield. It was a very nice defensive alignment. We saw this also. We see this a lot of times with young hitters. Like, think about it this way. Like Jack Caglione against Chris Sale, he didn't play. And the Royals, Matt Quatraro was like, we're going to play him against a lot of lefties, but that's not a lot of lefties. And I think that's fair. That's fair when you're trying to build someone's confidence up and bring them up to speed. Like, I think it's okay for Bo Bichette. Again, we don't know what's happened behind the scenes with Bo Bichette contract. We don't know if this was something that was promised. We don't know if it has to be there. I don't know. But to me, we have 2 pitchers in our rotation who are ground ball demons, and 3 that are not. I think 1 game a week at DH doesn't sound like the worst thing in the world.
You're talking Peterson Holmes, or you throwing McLean in there too?
Oh, yeah, 3 out of 5. I
Yeah,
forgot about Clay
that's
Holmes.
why I was like, huh.
Okay. Yeah, so 3 out of 5. So I guess that probably is too much then to do. But then also, like, the ball's going to find him. There might be some bad plays.
I think, too, the problem, and you've hinted to this before, too, I think Bichette is taking the defense to the plate. And that's the thing that's concerning me a little bit. And the reason I say this is because I mentioned it on the opening day episode because I saw him on the third base line, and it's such a unique angle that you don't get anywhere else unless you're physically at the game. And I told you it, and you notice it now. He is wrapping his bat so incredibly hard, and that's why Bo Bichette is not catching up to any pitch because he's wrapping his bat. His swing is theoretically getting longer. What it truly is that he's starting his swing later because I think he's trying to hit the 10-run home run. I think because he knows that there's not much defense that he's going to bring to the table right now or that he hasn't brought to the table, that he's trying to be the hero every single time he steps to the plate. And that means that Bo Bichette is going to take the hardest swing that he ever takes, but that also means that Bo Bichette is wrapping his bat, making him start his swing longer. He has not pieced up a fastball. He hasn't come even close to really hitting a ball particularly well, and I think this is why it's a mechanical fix. Maybe it's even a mental clear the head, get on the road a little bit here. Don't love the boo birds coming out for Bo Bichette, though, early. I don't love that.
No, I don't either, but I think he's the kind of guy whose personality is equipped to handle it. And I don't think that he's in like kind of overswing, acknowledging he's not going to help on defense. But I think it's just him. Like we said, I think the game is moving fast for him right now.
Yeah.
Like just a lot is happening for him in those chances in the field. And it's like, okay, it's kind of hard to totally block that out of your mind. And he confronted this in the post-game press conference on Sunday. 2 quotes I thought really stuck with me. One, him saying, I definitely felt that wanting to have a moment, not only for my teammates, but for the fans and everything.
Yep.
So again, it's already acknowledging the fan reactions. That's why you don't boo. And then another one, kind of being tongue-in-cheek about, which I liked. If anything, I thought it took too long for them to boo him. I get it. I thought my at-bats were terrible.
Yeah, like...
But yeah, Bo, and this is us really nitpicking basically 2 games. Like, Bo Bichette's great baseball player.
He's going to be fine.
I have no concerns really about anything. I even think after a few months of this, I think the defense will be at least adequate, which I think is the goal here. But I think it's also a spot where, similar to how you'd bring a young player on against tough pitchers, like we said about other teams manicuring defense depending on who's on the mound. And that was all I wanted to ask with that question on Twitter. Sometimes it's like...
Oh, God forbid you ask a question. What happens on Twitter a lot now, more so than I think Twitter even in the old days, because old Twitter rocked, loved old Twitter, miss old Twitter. People see something, read it in their own language, and completely change the wording of what you said. Like, you asked that question, and people were probably like, fuck you for, you think Bo Bichette sucks, fuck you.
Yeah, that's not what I said at all. I was just like, it was also about phrasing it with Brett Baty being on the roster. We've had 3 games this season, all against right-handed pitchers. Brett Baty started all 3 of them, which I think should be the case. His bat warrants that, but he DH'd for 2 of them, and he played first base for the other one. It's like...
First base? Like
yeah, he didn't look bad at first base either on Sunday, but it didn't have as much exposure as Bo Bichette had in those few games, and kind of Jorge Polanco as well. But it's a situation where that was the only question. I do wonder how rigid this plan is. You're paying the guy a lot of money, and there's a chance for him it's a 1-year contract where it's in his best interest to be playing the field and proving he can do that as much as possible. Every rep Bo Bichette takes is going to get him closer to being a good third baseman.
Maybe.
But you do certainly have a better defensive third baseman on the roster. So that's where the question lies.
And we've had the conversation, too, about how putting Brett Baty at DH actually completely handcuffs them defensively.
Yeah, we said that, too, because then you can't make a late. But also that, again, that's why I'm kind of saying it's probably just more complicated than this.
Has to be. Because it's too obvious.
It's not even that's too obvious. Again, this is also us being a little silly because, like, you pay the guy a lot of money. He might be here for 3 years. You said you're going to make him third baseman. And he did the video with David Wright. Like, this is the Mets' new third baseman, so he's the third baseman. But it's also like...
Is he?
60% of our pitchers are going to get a lot of ground balls, and there's a guy who's the designated hitter who's probably better at putting those ground balls in the glove and getting them to first base.
Just, as we've said, all this defense stuff goes away, though, if Bo Bichette hits. As long as Bo Bichette hits, we overlook the defense for sure.
Keith made a great comment about this, too, from the first baseman's perspective. So I also think a lot of this gets exacerbated by the fact that we have a first baseman. Again, I think Jorge Polanco's doing a fine job at first already.
Seems completely okay.
Not experienced. It's the little things. And Keith said that when Hojo was a Mets third baseman, he was at first. That Hojo was a bit of a side armor. So a lot of times Hojo's throws, similar to a lot of these Bichette missed throws so far, would sail closer to the home plate. So Keith would give him a setup that was closer to right field. And that would kind of naturally anchor Hojo's eyes and his aim, and that ball would wind up coming more straight to him. So again, that's probably something that comes with experience. Kai Correa is going to get with these guys. I'm sure they're going to continue to work on things every single day, but it is a situation that I'm monitoring right now as a Mets fan.
That being said, I think Bo Bichette's going to be fine, but about as bad as an opening day weekend as he could have had.
Yeah, it's basically the worst possible.
And I expect that to be the worst that Bo Bichette plays. I don't expect it to get any worse.
Only 119 RBIs to 120.
Oh, man, he's had so many opportunities. He could have had 8 after this weekend. Yeah, I mean, Bo Bichette lead the RBIs. It's still in play. Look how many guys get on base in front of him.
That was the whole nexus of the idea. And also, your boy Luis Garcia, he was down 3 ticks compared to last year.
He is cooked.
He probably can't beat the bullpen if he's throwing 94.
This is the conversation that I had with you. And again, I know why the Mets are doing it, and I understand what's going on. But now with him and Dickie Lovelady in the bullpen, now we have even less arms that you can actually rely on.
My guy Joe hit me up to good Twitter friend. Ryan Lambert's at 95 for Syracuse on Sunday, and the zone rate was like 10% in that fastball.
Don't love to hear that.
I'm sure it was freezing, so I'm going to chalk it up to that. But
Cold
that
fingers.
That was something that made me a little bit nervous. But
When's
again,
Christian Scott come up?
But again, do you want to have another long man?
Just make him an inning guy. Make him a reliever.
But if he's a reliever, how's he going to be starting next year? You got to do 100 this year if you want to start next year.
Pitch him 100 times.
Yeah, that's going to work.
Give him the Pedro Feliciano. It's a day that ends in Y. Come back out.
Dave Peterson looked good, but for a big reason. It was kind of because of some of those Bo Bichette errors. Like, he couldn't get through the sixth. And similar with Nolan McLean, like, the way those first 2 innings went, he also couldn't get past the fifth. So, like, it did feel like there was a second where we were kind of warped back into last year's vortex.
Oh, 1,000,000%. It was not a fun feeling.
Except for Luis Robert.
God, I fucking love him.
Robert.
I love Luis Robert. There's a big to-do on Mets Twitter right now if you can call him Lou Bob or not. Apparently, he said in a Chicago White Sox interview he doesn't like Lou Bob. I've scoured the internet. I can't find anything on it. So I'm going to task Rob Colonna. I know you know. You'll find out the answer, Rob. I know you will. Send it to me in a DM if you find out whether it's true or not. I will stop calling him Lou Bob when those facts are proven right.
Yeah, I'm still big things to watch, I guess, for us next week as we head to St. Louis. We'll get to that in a second. Got a quick media marvel before then. But
a series preview. Look at this.
I know, right? Isn't that fun? We're going to keep watching the Bo Bichette defense. We're going to keep watching the Mets bullpen deployments. I think those are the two big hot button issues for Mets fans.
Yeah, otherwise, great weekend.
Great weekend. Oh, my God. The Mets are on pace to win 110 games, and we nitpicked for a half hour.
Yeah, incredible. I want it to be known. I'm feeling very good about this team.
No, fantastic. But I do want to do a quick media marvel because there's people don't know how to talk anymore.
No, not at all.
There's been a debate that if you guys are perpetually online like Mark and I, especially me, there's been a debate going around Twitter of who are more Mets fans or Yankees fans, real New Yorkers. And it's like, first question is why are we talking about this right now?
No why are you the way you are?
This is what happens when you have all these off days built into the early part of the season. We're just not talking about baseball enough. But Ross Barkin, didn't know who this person was before that. He writes for New York Mag. He's the editor-in-chief for the Met Review. He did a double tweet where I was just like, what are you talking about? And the internet got after him with this. Baseball season is a reminder of all the laptop gentrifier class Mets fans who operate in my sphere, he put in quotes, and pollute my air. However, I will offer an olive branch. David Stearns had a very good offseason, a strong roster, enjoy it. So again, just being combative to Mets fans, seemingly as like an uptight Yankee fan, then you like triple, quadruple down on this take. The Mets fan base doesn't really send its best, like meaning in the douchey way, to respond to me. So I'll explain my point as plainly as I can. Of course, there's been colons and commas all over this. Guy's a good writer. There are New York native Mets fans, many, many. But if you're a gentrifier, laptop class individual, a pure transplant, the odds are you are a Mets fan. Who are you saying this to?
Who are you saying this to? Why are you such a douchebag? Because this language is so. This is like
it's
the
pretentious
epitome
to the max.
Yeah, it's so fucking pretentious. It's so douchey. If you guys are fans of South Park, which I am, love South Park. They do an entire episode about like the douchebags, and it's like they fart into cups and they sniff their farts. Like that's what I imagine this guy does, to be like a little bit crude for a second, where it's like you tweeted this into the void. It got picked up. Congratulations. Like, you got it. You got probably what you sought out for. But I think everybody comes out of this thinking you're an asshole.
Definitely. And the funny thing that underscores this whole thing is that what he's complaining about is the fact that we just talked about this in the windup, that the Mets are master marketers right now.
Incredible.
The fact that if you are a New York City transplant, I think, of course, you're more likely to be a Mets fan.
Yeah, because you're not an evil person.
The fact that the Mets are grabbing more of the new people that he's admitting with money, with jobs, who are coming into the city and they want to get themselves into baseball. Maybe they haven't been before. Maybe they just weren't tied to their hometown team. They're like, yeah, I want to go to Citi Field. That's a fun place to watch a ball game. But that should be a look inward for the Yankees fans. Why are you not actually grabbing this class of people as, quote, fans for your team?
Yeah, I mean, it's also like the most. I don't even know if he realizes that he's kind of complimenting the Mets in a way of that.
That's what I'm saying, 100%.
He's kind of proven that the Mets are New York's team right now by saying that.
What he's proving is that in 20 years down the line, as the Mets continue to grow more fans while the Yankees continue to be a bah humbug in themselves in the evil empire, like blaring Darth Vader noises and championing 20 championships that came before integration. Like the Mets are inviting and fun. And then the absolute complete lack of self-awareness. Another tweet where he responded to Sam Alder-Bell, who's a good writer. You walk the streets of Greenpoint, Williamsburg, Bushwick, Ridgewood, Bed-Stuy, Crown Heights, or Prospect Heights. Find a baseball fan to move to New York City's adult. Vast majority are Mets fans. Can you imagine the denseness of a Yankee fan to not be able to delineate between someone wearing a hat and going to a game and that being someone who's a real fan. I want Ross to go to Vietnam. You tell me how many Yankee fans are walking around Vietnam right now.
Is that where you went this past
last year? Yeah.
Yeah, and you told me you're like, the Yankees hats are everywhere.
Ho Chi Minh City is owned by the Yankees. Owned.
Also, like, it's what he's saying also blatantly untrue. There are still way more Yankees fans, and I do think that it is so much easier for the average person to just go and be a Yankee fan than it is a Mets fan. The Mets fan base, nobody chooses to be a Mets fan. You are born into being a Mets fan. We're just starting to get people starting to choose to be Mets fans, but 99.9% of people that are Mets fans were born into being Mets fans. We're Yankees fans. There's a lot of choosing going on over there.
But I don't think it's wrong that a lot more of that group of people are Mets fans. But I think it's about the points that we're saying. I think the Mets are more inviting. Like
it's also probably a conversation more of Brooklyn, Queens versus Manhattan. I still think every Manhattan transplant is still going Yankees. I mean, we joke about it all the time. But like, go to a Yankees game and you see 25 blonde women in white tank tops and the Yankee hat and everything, and it's like, oh, where are you from? And it's like, oh, I'm from Arkansas. I'm from South Dakota. Like, they're not from here.
That's the tweet that goes viral like every few months, where it's like, if you see someone wearing a Mets hat in the street, you have like 9 things to talk about them immediately, and you see a Yankees hat on the street, you're like, oh, brother, where are you from?
Yeah.
But also, again, like, this is the thing that we're chastising for, is the fact that the Mets are good at acquiring and marketing to different fans right now.
Which we know for a fact they are, having worked inside that building.
And it's been successful. Like, the Mets games are fun. Like, the Mets
much more fun.
Have you seen the Mets advertisements recently for tickets?
No, I haven't.
It's cool food, it's DJs, it's sun out in center field. Like, that's what they're advertising right now.
Which is smart.
And then that's overlaid with balls being put in play and then a visual of Juan Soto.
Like, baseball games are fun. Going to a baseball game is fun. Going to a Mets game is fun. Going to a Yankees game, not fun.
No, that's what I'm saying. But this also gets back to what we've talked about a lot more off air, where the modern Yankee fans change a little bit.
A lot of it.
It's like, why are we even focused on this right now? Again, like, you're mad about the fact that more people in your gentrified neighborhood are wearing Mets hats.
Yeah, why does that even bother you?
They're from Ohio. It's like that. Who cares? Like, it's.
I like that. It's like, you think they're not from here, so that is angering you?
As the Mets'd podcast, we want all of you guys to listen to us. If you guys want to get into Mets baseball, and it's fun that we've had a lot of people come up to us and say that. Like,
yes.
Honestly, people have moved to New York to, like, we wanted to get into the Mets. We found your guys' podcast, and it's fun. Like, we're inviting.
Shout out our boy, is it Ronnie in the Netherlands?
Yuri
in the Netherlands.
Yeah.
The guy, where he's like, I'm a Mets fan because I watched baseball. I saw a Mets podcast. You guys were the one I listened to. It's fun.
Got Kenny Kloop as well.
That's who I'm thinking of. Kenny, not Ronnie.
Kenny.
Yeah.
Yuri's good too. And our guy Graham.
Shout out Graham. Love Graham.
We had our top comment of the opening day episode. He's like, I'm a Mets fan from the UK. I found you guys. Like, the only reason I missed some of your episodes is because I watched the games on
yes.
I record them and watch them the next day. And you guys with your titles always spoil what happened. Just like, sorry.
He's like, I can't subscribe. I'm sorry.
Yeah, this is a very funny conversation. It is the fact that now also that if you show up to New York City, it's actually a choice to be a Mets fan or a Yankee fan. It's like, that's a huge win for what the Mets have done in and of itself.
Massive win.
And as the Mets'd podcast, we invite every single, as this guy said, transplant, gentrifier, laptop class of people. Come see us at the Mets game, listen to the Mets'd podcast the week after.
Everybody but Yankees fans.
Again, that take took on a life of its own, and it was funny to read.
Shall we preview the Cardinal series?
Yeah, yes, we should. We got a series
wow,
preview.
A series preview, James. James, tell me the probable starters for the first time this year.
Probable starters the first time this year. So Monday night in St. Louis, we have 7:45 starts. Got the Central Time Zone over there, but they're a 6:45 team. Clay Holmes, Kyle Leahy, bit of an ace-off.
Oh, okay.
Tuesday night, 7:45 again. Kodai Senga versus Andre Palante.
Palante.
I'm like, God, I gotta get the pronunciations.
Italian.
There's no way he's Italian.
You don't think he's Italian?
I think it's Palante. Maybe it's Palante, whatever.
All right, it doesn't matter.
We'll hit the pronunciation guy this week. I'm going to study hard. Wednesday, matinee, Freddie Peralta, another ace-off versus Matthew Liberatore. So
we should smoke the Cardinals.
I would hope to. I mean, the Cardinals had, weirdly, one of the most fun opening weekend series. Them and the Rays played ball games left and right.
It was hot in St. Louis. Low humidity.
Hot.
They got like a crazy heat wave, and the ball was flying there. It was going nuts.
I mean, I asked Jordan Walker that. Jordan Walker came out of that series looking like one of the best hitters in baseball. But the big thing to know about this Cardinals team is that they're not very good.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say
to
that
put
out,
it nicely, yeah, they're not a very good team. but it's not going to be like when you play the Rockies or the Nationals, where like
It's not fun bad.
they're all still in the same tier of like ass, I think. But the Cardinals are like probably still going to win 70 games.
I think so. I mean, that's mostly a function of probably the division they play in, the fact that they have a high floor as a team, especially defensively, and a bullpen that should be better than it was this past weekend.
Yeah, but I mean, there's not much exciting going on in St. Louis. One exciting thing, though, J.J. Weatherholt. I think you guys
awesome.
have probably heard about him if you're listening to this podcast. Rookie, called up, 23 years old, first-round pick. What was it, 2024, I believe?
2024 out of West Virginia.
Yeah, out of West Virginia. Damn good ball player. If Keith's there, which I believe he is, he loves going back to St. Louis. He is going to drool over J.J. Weatherholt.
No, it's going to be fantastic. And they still have Mason Wynn, shortstop, who one of the best defenders in baseball. Victor Scott can't hit a lick, but he's one of the best center field defenders in baseball as well. Mentioned it, Jordan Walker really found something this weekend, hit the crap out of the ball. I don't know what's going to come with Jordan Walker, but I like to see him playing well. This lineup also, 1 through 9, most games they play, 100% homegrown.
Yes,
Which
is kind of cool.
It's kind of cool. It's kind of funny. Also, I referenced Kyle Leahy. I like Leahy a lot. He flashed last year, kind of working as a reliever. He's moved to rotation this year, so I don't know what his workload's going to be like, but it's a decent cut right fastball. It's 2 different slider variations. It's a curveball, it's a sinker, it's a changeup. He's given lots of different looks to guys on both sides of the plate. He's fun. We've done Pallant in the past too.
Palante.
He's full over the top, crazy, just curveballs.
Not good.
He's going to try and make you beat it into the ground. And Libertor's fun. Libertor came over from the Randy Arozarena trade. I think Cardinals fans hated him for years because of that, but he just looks like a high likelihood, good floor major league pitcher, and he will be for a while.
When you play the Cardinals from the pitching side, a lot of balls in play. They don't get a lot of strikeouts. They're not a big stuff team right now.
These guys are not, especially.
They're hoping that their defense is sharp, like it normally is, and that they'll get the outs that way. So for the Mets, that's great. I love when the Mets get to put the ball in play because we have very good hitters who hit the ball really well. So to me, this feels like a really bad matchup for the Cardinals, just in the fact that you want us to put the ball in play. Great.
That's what I'm saying. Or it's like you play into their hands, you go right into the funnel they want you to do.
Well, I guess we'll find out. You know who else we're going to see, James?
Who?
Little Stanek at the disco. Ryan Stanek, big closer out there in St. Louis this year.
I can't believe he's their closer. He's already blown a save, so that'll be fun to see to be on the other side of a Ryan Stanek appearance here. But this is a relatively soft start to the season. I'd like to stack some wins.
We should eat against the Cardinals. We should be looking to get fat.
No, and I'm very much looking forward to seeing Kodai Senga pitch.
Yes.
That game Tuesday night is going to be nice to see what we have in Senga, where that velocity is. Similar to Clay Holmes. I want to say the Clay Holmes.
So Senga goes in front of Holmes.
Holmes is Monday, Senga's Tuesday.
I thought we had an off day Monday.
No, we don't. We're flying right there.
Whoa, interesting.
I think we're off again Thursday, though.
Yes.
We fly to San Francisco for the weekend.
Yeah, no, you're right. I think we are off on that day. That's where I got it mistaken.
Unless I'll tell you right now, unless we're 4 games San Francisco. We are 4 games San Francisco. Yeah, this is 9 game, 9 days, starting from Saturday.
Interesting.
Yeah, so again, bullpen's going to be taxed. We'll see a nice Tobias Myers soak-up session in this. But we need to start against 6.
We might need Tobias Myers to only go 1 inning in his next appearance.
Just so we could pitch more? But I think
we can pitch more, yeah.
I think we're going to need to soak up innings. Especially...
Maybe.
Shawman I's probably got to go 40 or something at some point.
At some point, yeah. But I'd say it does not seem like they want him to.
I mean, might have to. Yeah, but we don't have an off day until Monday, April 6th.
You know when he goes 40? Up big, down big.
Probably does, but then what's going on? I'll say that. What's going on?
I think he's wondering.
It's a little Marvin Gaye. What's going on?
I think he's wondering the same question. I think Sean and I was like, what is going on here?
I don't know what's going on then if that's going to be the case. But again, this Cardinals team, they placed, I think they're going to play relatively solid ball. You should be able to get to those pitchers. The bullpen has some demons. Riley O'Brien, Jojo Romero. Matt Swanson had a horrible weekend. But all 3 of those guys are a bit of demons. Romero's a tough lefty.
Very different baseball than the Pirates.
Yeah, Riley O'Brien is a strange righty. I'm trying to describe how he throws right now. I'm going to watch a quick video to get some inspiration. But he's a very east-west guy. He comes from the side, but it's got a lot of extra pop on it.
His his grandfather played in the majors in the 50s for the Pirates.
That's so cool.
Damn, what a baseball fan. And who is this? Oh, his great uncle also played for the Pirates in the 50s, Eddie O'Brien.
Shout out Eddie.
Eddie O, Johnny O, and Riley O.
Johnny O. And Swanson, too. He had, again, one of the worst weekends ever. In one fell swoop, he completely tanked was going to be months to get back in rotisserie league in my ratios and saves hold league. I'm going to be working to get Matt Svenson's 54 ERA this weekend off my 6 WHIP off my books for a while. But,
Last Riley O'Brien fun fact I have to give you.
yeah.
Cool college guy. Went to Everett Community College and College of Idaho. Not even Idaho University. Not the Vandals. College of Idaho. Damn. Okay.
I hope that's in Boise. Boise's not the
No,
worst city
Caldwell.
ever. Wow, that might be the worst city ever.
Caldwell, Idaho.
I drove through Idaho one time. I saw the absolute biggest and scariest nuclear reactor I've ever seen in my life.
Really?
Yeah, big nuclear power plant out there.
Caldwell, Idaho looks just like Westfield.
Oh, that plays then.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, check Matt Swanson. He went to Lehigh. He might be a Jersey boy.
Let's see, Matt Swanson. This is why you listen to the Mets'd podcast every single time. Matt Swanson he is from Lake Zurich, Illinois.
Damn.
All right, Midwestern.
Dream to the East Coast.
That's
But,
it.
I think that's it. Again, they'll play decent ball, but
Should
I
beat them.
would be not satisfied with anything less than a series victory.
I was about to say, I love saying this second series thing. Gotta take 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Gotta take 2 or 3 second series of the year.
Stack series wins. That's it. Keep teams that we think we're better than just win 2 out of 3. Win 2 out of 3 all year. That's how you make the playoffs.
You can never win too many baseball games.
No, never have.
It's never happened.
Never will. You ready for the first Frankie?
Yeah, I've been waiting all day.
I'll say I sadly missed Frankie right before the season because we recorded that Daniel Murphy video early, and then I let him know.
Sorry, Frankie. Daniel Murphy stole the spotlight.
Yes, and then he didn't give us one opening day because honestly that's on us because we didn't get him there.
We could have alerted the press.
We should have. So, should we do the Frankie season pump up and then do the Frankie after the series recap?
Sure. So, well, what do you mean?
Do you want to do both Frankies? I'm saying.
Nah, just one. I think just one.
And also, just to tell people, this is Frankie Peppers. He's our WFAN caller.
Yeah, Frankie Peppers is a first time, long time. He left us a Apple podcast review when we used to read reviews, which maybe we'll bring that back if you guys flood them. If you guys flood our reviews, we'll start bringing them back. But he left us a review as Frankie Peppers, and me and James read it out, and we're like, this guy's got to be from Staten Island.
Mark's below. But yeah, just for the new listener out there, Frankie Peppers, we thought he was just a funny WFAN guy. Then we did the voicemail episode, and he gave us an amazing voicemail. So we gave Frankie the floor, and we said, Frankie, anytime you leave us a voicemail, we'll play it on the show. And then that was exactly when the 2024 Mets got blazing hot. Now it's a tradition. At the end of all of our episodes, we get a voicemail from Frankie Peppers. He's our guy.
First one of the 2026 season. Let it rip, James.
Okay, there's the volume. Here comes Frankie.
Gentlemen, this is Frankie Peppers. How you doing? First Instagram of the new season, gentlemen, and happy to do it. Wish I could be talking to you after a sweep of the Pirates, but we'll take a series win. Nice statement victory that first day. Young man Carson bench. What a homer. He's gonna be something. We all know that. And I'm not concerned about the top of this lineup. Bichette's gonna be fine. McLean's gonna be fine. It's the first series of the year. Not everything's going to be clicking. It never does. But would have been nice to sweep.
We got one more.
Part 2?
That's okay. So, gentlemen, it's been a long winter. I hope you're doing well. I'm excited to have another season of Mets baseball, and I'm feeling really good about this one, boys. So, I would love some food recommendations from you. Let's get this started early. It can be some bolognese. It could be whatever you want. Give me something to make, because it worked so well. And we'll get going. Okay, boys? I'll talk to you soon. Take care. Let's go, Mets.
Love that. So we know that Frankie's got great chops in the kitchen, Italian cooking. But this Mets team is taking a little bit different of an identity this season.
Yeah.
Should we stick Frankie on some ropa vieja?
Man, but then I want some ropa vieja. That's like one of my favorite foods on the planet.
You live in Queens. You get ropa vieja 10 minutes outside your door.
Not my area, Queens, I don't think.
Yeah, 10 minutes you can be in 10 minutes, just any part of Queens, you can get ropa vieja within 10 minutes, guaranteed.
I'm not near a Subway.
That's true, you're actually not.
Yeah, it might take me 20.
You gotta get a bike, but yeah.
A city bike.
I think I want to stick Frankie on some Latin food. See how that works.
I was going to throw Frankie a dessert.
Okay, that's still early in the season for dessert.
I know, but I think we got to, like I said, we got to get fat against the Cardinals. A little dessert right now. A cannoli. I want to see Frankie make some cannolis.
How do you make a cannoli? He's not going to make a shell.
Why?
I guess, honestly, yeah. We know Frankie's good in the kitchen.
Frankie's good in the kitchen. We've had the bolognese. It's delicious. Also,
boys are eating sauce.
Last call. big time Tommy's back.
Oh, yeah, I totally forgot about that
Big
opening
time
day.
Tommy's back. I know we buried the lead here. That should have been our first breaking news thing. Tommy Pham's going to be on this roster before May 1st.
So, just quick, building a bench. Whose roster spot does Tommy Pham take?
Jared Young.
I think so, but
They like having the lefty, but the lefty kind of becomes pointless because he's a DH.
somewhat. But I think they like having the lefty mix in. And Jared Young also is like a plus-ish athlete. Like Jared Young can run a bit.
Yeah,
I think Tommy Pham definitely still can. I'm sure when that news broke on opening day, if Mark Fiennes and Jared Young's lockers are next to each other, they looked at each other and went, "Damn,
They went shit.
I gotta compete here."
one of
Guys,
us.
it's gonna be fun to have Tommy Pham back. I think he's going to get back in this team because the guy can definitely still play. And it's he's been active on Twitter recently. It's fun that after everything he said too, he's come back to the organization.
Yeah, it means the guys that he didn't like are gone. So take that for how you will.
My sister saw Pete Alonso highlight on MLB Network when I was watching at home, and she said she was sick to her stomach.
Wow,
She loved Pete.
It's heartbreaking to hear. I feel bad.
Yeah, it is. But I think that's all we got.
That's all we got, guys. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching this episode of the Mets'd Podcast. Make sure you're subscribed on YouTube so you don't miss out on any of the video episodes. Shout out to our members who get access to them early. If you're listening to us, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google, drop us a rating, drop us a review, download, and subscribe. You can follow James on social media at
James Shiano.
And I'm Giraffe Neck Mark. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you for watching. We'll catch you after the Cardinals series. Peace out.
Peace out, guys. Let's go, Mets.